So good morning, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to the March 4th, 2024 meeting of the Calvert County Board of Commissioners. At this time, I'd like to ask Pastor Ben Holland with the Dunkirk Baptist Church to come forward to give us an invocation, please. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let us pray. Father God, we come before you today, and Lord, we thank you for this opportunity to gather together, Lord, to discuss the needs and the opportunities related to Calvert County. Lord, we pray for your continued blessing. Lord, continue to provide the funds and the resources that we need for the people who live here. Lord, we pray that you will continually to provide peace for us. Lord, we thank you for bringing us through the hazardous times like with COVID. But Lord, we look for greater days ahead and pray for your leadership, for your guidance. Lord, as things are brought before these commissioners today, I pray that you give them wisdom. I pray that you give them grace. But Lord, help us to be able to provide for the needs of the people here, to look for opportunities to help where needed, and Lord, that you will provide the resources that we need to meet the needs of those who live here. We pray for this time. We lift this time up to you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So thank you, Pastor Holland, and again, he comes to us from Dunkirk Baptist Church. Next item on the agenda is to approve the agenda as presented. Are there any additions or corrections?
I'll make a motion, we approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second that we approve the agenda as presented. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I do have some public service announcements. On March 3rd yesterday was the U.S. Navy Reserve's birthday. It celebrated 109 years of service yesterday. It was formed in 1915, and it made up almost 84% of the nation's fighting force during World War I. Among its ranks were 5 presidents and 15 Medal of Honor recipients. And also, we're going to be having ribbon cutting ceremonies for the new sheriff's substations, the one in Dunkirk and the one in Lusby today. The Dunkirk substation ribbon cutting is at 2 p.m. and the Lusby substation ribbon cutting is at 4 p.m. Just want to invite all of our citizens, if you want to come out and join us today, we cut ribbons with Sheriff Cox on those new substations, which we think are going to be great support for the citizens in those areas. Eventually, when we get those fully staffed and up to speed, you won't have to drive to Prince Frederick for some of your service needs, and give the Sheriff's Office greater accessibility to those areas. So we invite all of you to come out today to join us in those ribbon cuttings. Also, this week on March 8th is National Women's Day, and there are 3 women in Calvert County that have outstanding achievements that we would like to make note of today. Harriet Elizabeth Brown, Calvert County school teacher who in 1937 fought and won equal pay for teachers of color. Margaret Dunkel, who created Title IX, the 1972 landmark legislation that prohibits sex discrimination in schools and colleges receiving federal funding. Margaret remains active in Calvert County and continues to push for strong community involvement. And Mary W. Jackson taught math at the former William Sampson Brooks High School to African-American students in Calvert County and later went on to become the first African-American female NASA engineer. So right here in little old Calvert County. So we want to take some time to celebrate the outstanding achievement of these women. And that concludes, I believe, all of my public service announcements today. Oh, I have one more. Senator Michael Jackson, Mark Fisher, Kevin Harris, and Delegate Jeffrey Long will be hosting a constituent night on Thursday, March 21st from 6 to 8. It's a free meet and greet event at the Governor Calvert House on 58 State Circle in Annapolis. There will be light refreshments. Please bring a photo ID if you want to attend, and they would appreciate an RSVP by Friday, March 15th to Senator Michael Jackson's office at 410-841-3700 or by email at michael.jackson@senate.state.md.us. So it's District 27 Constituent Night on Thursday, March 21st at the Calvert House in Annapolis on State Circle. I think that's it. That concludes my public service announcements for today. That brings us to proclamations. The first proclamation on the agenda today is for Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. Commissioner Grasso.
Good morning. Ed, could you come up to the microphone, please, and introduce yourself? But could you also expand on the many contributions that individuals with disabilities have contributed to society?
Thank you, Commissioner Grasso. It'd be my pleasure. Ed Sullivan, good morning, Commissioners, from Division Chief of the Calvert County Office on Aging. Thank you for the opportunity, Commissioner Grasso and Commissioners, for this proclamation and this recognition of those with developmental disabilities. We have I know many people at the Calvert Pines Senior Center and the Office on Aging who contribute to our community and our senior centers, whether it's serving at lunch, whether it's participating in programs, helping to decorate the center. I'm only speaking of the Calvert County Office on Aging, but they certainly serve other seniors, clean up afterwards, and whatever is necessary in the center. They serve on the Senior Council. They raise funds for programs for our senior centers. So they provide a ton of services for the senior community, and I know there are others involved in the work with us today. If it's okay with you, Commissioners, I'd like to ask them, some of them who are in attendance, to come up and introduce themselves, let you know who they are and what they do, if that would be okay.
That's fine.
Okay, I'm going to ask them to come up now. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Angela Neno. I'm the Developmental Disability Specialist at Calvert Pines Office on Aging. And I have with me one of our participants. You want to introduce yourself? So tell your name.
Nina Reed.
Nina Reed. And Miss Nina, how long have you been in our program?
I don't know.
So, 1980s? Since our program really started off, right? Do you like it at our program? Do you volunteer a lot? Yeah? What do you like doing?
I don't know.
So, what do you volunteer and do?
I don't know yet.
So, do you work every Sunday?
Yeah, what's your church?
You work in the church,
I'm an
right?
usher.
You're an usher, yes.
I'm an usher at my home, and I work every Sunday. I can't get to the seat, and I went white. I went white last Sunday. I only had white this Sunday. Cause my niece, she was put there.
So, Miss Nina is our fashionista at the center. So, and also our greeter. She takes time to greet people as they're coming in. Do you want to tell them thank you?
Thank you.
Thank
Please
you.
Come on up.
Please come up.
Catherine.
Good morning. I'm Grace Holler, Program Specialist at Calvert Pines Senior Center. We plan programs, execute programs, and assist where needed.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tanya Taylor, Client Services Manager at the Office on Aging. Our wonderful CREATE program is part of the social services team within the agency. Thank you for today.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning. My name is Angelique Brinkley. I am a support planner, so my role in working with our seniors is to help bring area services in the home and connect our families along with our elderly participants connected to the resources outside in the community.
Good morning. My name's Terry Long from the ARC of Southern Maryland. We serve over 1,000 people between the 3 counties. We also provide jobs, teaching people skills and getting jobs. We serve, we have a pretty good getting people jobs and stuff. We have about 50%, where the state average is about 20, so we're doing very well in getting people's jobs.
Thank you. Come on up.
Good morning. My name is Noelle Flaherty. I'm here representing the Commission on Aging. We'd like to thank the commissioners for your support, both of the Commission on Aging and our work with the disabled community. We really appreciate this proclamation.
Thank you. Come on up.
Finally, Commissioners, we do want to thank you. We recognize that we cannot do the work without your support. Without your support, we can't do the work. We're thankful for our staff, many of them here today. We're thankful for Terry Long at the ARC and others in the community who were involved in the work. Noel Flaherty from Calvert Health, who was a member of the Commission on Aging also. Both Terry and Noel were members of the Commission on Aging. So, Commissioners, thank you so much for your support. We're thankful for you recognizing the fact that everyone brings dignity to the community, and everyone is worth recognizing. All of their contributions are welcome and certainly appreciated, and we recognize the importance of our entire team, including those with developmental disabilities. So, Commissioners, thank you so much. We're thankful and grateful.
Thank you. Come on up. Come on up, Ed. Okay, I want to thank all of you for all that you do for our citizens in Calvert County. All of our citizens have value and deserve the respect, the productivity that they can bring to society. And I'm so happy that you all are here, and I'm so happy that you all do what you do. Okay, I'm going to read the proclamation. Whereas in 1987, President Ronald Reagan first proclaimed the month of March as Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month to provide the encouragement and opportunities necessary for people with developmental disabilities to reach their fullest potential. And whereas in the 37 years since the first proclamation, society has made progress improving the lives of individuals with developmental disabilities, noting challenges remain in providing full inclusion. And whereas Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month is a time to celebrate the many contributions people with developmental disabilities invest in our society, and to recognize the efforts made to achieve a culture of meaningful and full inclusion in all facets of community life. Whereas through awareness and outreach to identify barriers and develop solutions, the goal of absolute inclusion and integration can become a reality and highlight the principle that everyone benefits when people with and without disabilities live, learn, and earn together in the community. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Calvert County that the month of March be known as Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. Be it further proclaimed that by this action, it be known the many ways people with and without developmental disabilities come together to form strong and diverse communities. Given under our hands and sealed this 5th day of March, 2024, signed by all 5 county commissioners. Again, thank you for all that you do.
So our second proclamation is for National Good Sportsmanship Day. Commissioner Hart.
Thank you, Mr. President. Nate, I believe you're leading the charge today, is that right?
I delegated that task out.
Oh.
Oh, okay, okay, could we have, please come on up?
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Mark Lindberg, Sports Coordinator. Like I said, I'm going to speak. I've been around a long time, but I'd rather that the next people that's coming behind me go ahead and do this for me. So I'm going to introduce Taylor Morton, our assistant coordinator.
Come on up, come on up. Come on up, come on up. Don't get away that easy.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name's Taylor Morton. I'm the Sports Assistant Coordinator with Calvert County Parks and Recreation. March is Good Sportsmanship Month, and today I'm happy to recognize a group of individuals who are vital components to the community and provide so much support to our programs. These individuals are Brian Lusby, Coretta Wills, Mina Dorsey, Troy Hawkins, Florine Barnett, Norm Adams, and Cynthia Kelly. Unfortunately, not everyone was able to join us today, but we do have Brian Lusby, Mina Dorsey, Norm Adams, Troy Hawkins, and Coretta Wills. If you guys would like to come up front.
Good morning, I am Coretta Wills.
Come on up.
Good morning, my name is Norman Adams. I'm placed out of Harriet Brown Community Center, building coordinator.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Troy Hawkins. I'm building supervisor for Parks and Recreation.
No,
Good
come
morning,
on.
I'm Brian
Don't worry
Lusby,
about it.
Assistant Recreation Coordinator in the Central District.
Hi, I'm Mina Dorsey. I'm Rec Aid and Building Coordinator for the Southern District.
So I'd first like to recognize our rookie basketball instructors, who are Brian Lusby, Norm Adams, Florine Barnett, and Cynthia Kelly. Our rookie basketball program is designed to give children in grades K through 3 a fun introduction to the game of basketball. Our instructors work with these participants on learning how to shoot, dribble, pass, triple threat, offense, defense, and so much more. Our rookie basketball instructors set a positive tone each session and help the participants develop qualities like teamwork, perseverance, and perhaps most importantly, good sportsmanship. Even though our rookie basketball program does not involve gameplay, our instructors do a phenomenal job instilling positive behavior and prepare these participants to demonstrate their right qualities as a basketball player. I would also like to recognize our building supervisors, Troy Hawkins, Coretta Wills, and Mina Dorsey. These individuals are working at a middle school every weeknight and every weekend supporting our intramural youth basketball league. They are instrumental in enforcing good sportsmanship to all the teams that practice and play games at their designated facilities. These three individuals encourage the players to take pride in giving their best at each practice and every game. Their enthusiasm and dedication to our sport programs are commendable. By all these individuals nurturing good sportsmanship in our youth, they are not only creating good athletes, but most importantly, well-rounded individuals who are ready to embrace life opportunities and challenges with grace and integrity. Calvert County Parks and Recreation sincerely thanks all of you for supporting our programs and representing good sportsmanship each year. Thank you.
So you guys know how much I love Parks and Recs. You know, and obviously, look at this body. You know, I was a star athlete, so you know. But you know, my son has done baseball, football, basketball, all through Parks and Recs, and you're so right. You know, you go in there on a Tuesday night. You think you've worked all day, and now you got to drag the kid there. Well, there's a Parks and Recs employee there, so this can actually happen. And to these kids, I mean, as many of you know, this is their Super Bowl, their World Series, their championship. I mean, this is serious stuff, you know. I mean, we would talk about the game starting on Wednesday. Man, Pop, I hear this is, I mean, this is serious business, you know. And, you know, now he's at the high school playing, and, you know, I could never teach him all that stuff and stuff. I mean, the gratitude I feel towards these programs is off the chain. And, you know, when I was a little kid, they used to teach us, you know, it doesn't matter if you win or lose, it's how you play the game. And sometimes in this country, we get away from that. You know, nobody remembers number 2. You know, if you say who lost the Super Bowl 5 years ago, you know, and it's just, but these programs, everybody plays. Everybody gets along. You know, if you don't get along, you don't play. I mean, it is sportsmanship first. It's character first. And I just think we are so lucky and so many volunteers that come out to do this, you know. So, well, myself and the whole board, we just can't thank you enough. And so I'm going to read this here for you. It says, whereas National Sportsman Day has been recognized on the first Tuesday of March every year since '91, and whereas the International Sports Institute first established National Sportsman Day in order to promote good sportsmanship around the country and to set high standards for future generations of athletes. The objective of this day is to promote and encourage fair play, good etiquette, and strong character. And whereas the foundations of good sportsmanship develop crucial life skills for players and spectators alike, expanding our physical and emotional intelligence and preparing us for adulthood by fostering a strong sense of integrity, collaboration, and whereas sportsmanship combats bullying and promotes an expansive list of values such as inclusion, respect, fairness, honesty, responsibility, and perseverance. And whereas fostering a commitment to good sportsmanship enables a multi-generational collaboration, paving the way for a more harmonious society. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners that March 5th, 2024 be observed as Good Sportsmanship Day in Calvert County. Citizens are encouraged to always promote fair play, good etiquette, positive action both on and off the field. Given our hands and seal this 5th day, March 2024, signed by all 5 commissioners. Put that in the center there. Basketball program. What's he gonna do? Yeah, no. Are you? Is that, I remember Zach doing all of his, because now in the high school, of course, he doesn't play basketball, he's too short. Blames me. He's just football, baseball. It's a great person. Thank you.
Every team needs a water boy.
Yeah, it's true. Somebody's got to do it.
So that brings us to consent. We have 4 items under consent today. Item 1, Department of Public Works, Maryland Department of Natural Resources, assessing the changing flood risk in Calvert County, grant approval with deadline extension. Item 2, Department of Public Safety, right of entry and memorandum of agreement for hazard mitigation grant project. Item 3, Office of the Court Administrator, FY24 Administrative Office of the Court Security Funding MOU. Item 4, Department of Public Safety, FY 2023 Assistance to Firefighters Grant Opportunities. Are there any objections to those items under consent today?
None.
Hearing none, those items will be adopted as presented. That brings us to new business. Item 1, Department of Finance and Budget, Transportation, Fiscal Year 2025 Staff Recommended Budget, 6-Year Capital Improvement Plan. Ms. Atkinson, good morning. Director? Director? Yeah, 2 for today.
Good morning, Bruce Miller. Just by real brief introduction, we're here to present the transportation CIP for fiscal year '25 and the plan thereafter. So with that, I'll turn the meeting over to Veronica and JR to add any color we need.
Good morning, Commissioners. Veronica Atkinson, Capital Projects Analyst with Finance and Budget. You want me to read the memo?
No, we can forego that. You're going to go through all that in the presentation.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Also joining me today is...
J.R. Cosgrove, Director of Public Works.
So today we're going to review the breakdown of costs for the Department of Transportation. We're going to review their FY25 expenses, and we are going to focus on FY25. And at the end, we will see an overview of the FY25 total CIP expenses and revenues. Our second slide is a quick overview of the Department of Public Works Transportation. FY25 is $18,660,000. Their 6-year CIP is $129,993,060. This slide starts the breakdown of all of the projects for transportation. Do we have any questions, Commissioners? JR is ready.
The all-day bus turnaround, $100,000, what does that mean? What is that?
So I would say probably 10 years, give or take. All-day road was, I guess, disconnected from the new subdivision that was Farmers Hunting Creek. And it wasn't a proper turnaround area for the bus to turn around. So the county built one further in, closer to Wilson Road. There's some drainage issues there that need to be repaired. There's a retaining wall that was built there that needs some repair. So it's basically to cover the repairs of that turnaround that's there. for
So
the-
all day is a road.
Off of Wilson. Off of Wilson.
Yeah. It doesn't say that
Yeah,
here.
we're
It
right.
should have
Yep.
said all-day road.
Correct.
It looks like there's an all-day bus turnaround issue.
No, no.
Where they're turning around all day long.
It's a school bus turnaround off of All Day Road.
On All Day Road.
Okay. And the countywide ROW acquisitions, what is that?
So that's countywide right-of-way acquisitions. So
Right-of-way,
sometimes when we're doing
okay.
drainage issues or stuff like that, we might need to acquire some additional right-of-way or easements. And we basically created a CIP to help cover that when needed.
So is that for stormwater or is that for the straightening of the roads?
A little bit of both, mainly for stormwater or a little bit of right-of-way we might need for widening the road or some, because some of these older right-of-ways throughout the county are only 30 feet wide.
Okay.
So the Barstow Salt Barn,
Yes, sir.
750 is a replacement?
No, well, we've already replaced the salt barn. This is basically to expand the yard, to give more storage area, because we're turning into more of a lay-down yard for both project management and highway maintenance. We're looking to store more materials, so, because we can buy materials ourselves with our on-call contracts, cheaper than we can have it funded through projects. So we're funding a lot of our projects, such as our storm drain repairs and so forth, with material we already have on site that we buy.
So that's not really a salt barn
No, it's-
CIP, that's more of a
It's the project. The salt barn
Facilities,
started the project.
infrastructure.
Correct.
And this project is, I see, $2 million. Am I reading that correctly? 750 and 25, and then another $1,250,000 for the next 2 years?
Correct. We have a phased plan where we're looking at some of the older buildings that are now that we used to store. We got a bunch of sea containers in the back that we store to, each crew stores our equipment in, whether it be chainsaws, shovels, you name it, that they need. We're looking to do away with those, create a building that basically houses all their equipment, and both their trucks, and also, because they store a lot of that under the existing facilities that are now that both need, roof replacements, siding replacements. So we're basically looking at, and they're in the middle of the yard. It kind of creates a flow issue.
I would suggest that you change the title of that category because it's a little misleading.
We can do that.
Because if we were to look at that, I think you're getting ready to spend $2 million on a brand-new salt barn that you
Yes.
just put up, so.
No. We will fix that.
Yeah.
We skipped over paving, JR. Is that $800,000 for prior year funding? Is that what you spent last year in paving? Or
So-
what did you spend last year in paving?
I believe we received 6.4 million last year for
6.4.
paving. We've paved about 18 miles of road right now with that. We got about $1 million left.
Okay.
Prince Frederick Loop Road, the 750,000, Chesapeake Boulevard and Fox Run Boulevard, what is that for?
That's to give us some additional funding to finish building out Fox Run Boulevard. I think the project had like 2.7, 2.8 million in it. We need a little extra to finish the construction.
And then in 28 and 29,
So those are funding looking forward to extending Chesapeake Boulevard, possibly up around the hospital and connecting it out on the north side on Route 4.
Just so you know, $2 million ain't gonna build that road.
No, that's more design and right-of-way acquisition.
design.
That's somebody looking at the project with binoculars. That's about
Right.
what you get for $2 million.
So the road that's going in by Calvert High is what we're calling Chesapeake Boulevard?
No, that's Fox Run. It's all part of the same. So the one that goes from basically Route 4 past the shopping center into the middle school, and then if you would make a left, you would head up Chesapeake Boulevard to the middle school. Fox
Make a
Run would
right.
continue over to the high school.
So JR, the Lusby Parkway extension,
Yes.
we don't own any of that, right?
No.
So why would we be paying?
Well, that was a project that was set in there years ago, and it's just stayed in the out years.
It should come off the books, because I know, yeah, of course, the two people that own the property want us to pay for it, absolutely they do. But, ain't our responsibility to build it,
No.
you know?
That was
And-
sit out in the out years, probably 4 or 5
Yeah,
years.
they keep trying to slide that in for years, and, I had Rye tear that place apart down there trying to find if we owned one stitch of, dirt there, and, he couldn't find it, so, it's not our responsibility.
No, the property for that extension is split between the Ranch Club and whoever owns that lot to the.
Well, if you live in the Ranch Club, you don't want it, you definitely don't want it, because you know all that is to run those apartments right through there. You dump all those cars coming right through there, and so we had that discussion years ago, because all that would do is, you know, that three-way stop there, if you're coming up from Bald Eagle, say, coming that way, if you're 10 cars deep, that means there's 10 on the other side. So there's no way, shape, or form that should ever go. And then the guy that had that wanted to do that shopping center there, I talked to him long apart. He claims he don't need it, so he don't need to pay for it. So if they don't need to pay for it, we certainly should, especially in these budget times.
Correct.
So,
Understood.
I mean, that's just my 20%, but to me, that should come clean off the books. So future boards don't get confused and go, not knowing the history, because that's what happens so many times too. You don't know the history. And then things get on there and you go, everybody's looking around like, how'd that happen? So just my 20.
You have some direction?
Yes, sir.
So back to Fox Run, that 750 is going to clean that project up and
Should.
complete it? Okay.
Yes.
All right, Breezy Point Roundabout, have we done that acquisition?
We have not. I believe we've looked into getting the community on board of our thoughts, and I believe we have them on board. So we just need to move forward with.
All right, as it currently is, you think a camper can make that circle?
Part of our evaluation is to make sure a camper can make the circle.
This summer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because right now it's still 2 ways in, so they should be able to come in and out, no problem. But if we were to construct a roundabout with that triangular area there, we definitely have to make modifications so the campers can get around.
Aren't all those circles designed for a tractor trailer?
Yes.
But that's a triangle now, what I'm getting at for this
Yeah.
summer until we.
Oh,
switch
for this
it
summer, you're not
out.
talking about the improvement?
Correct.
Oh, you're talking about current existing, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the 125,000 is going to bring it up to snuff for this summer, and then the 200,000 next year is going to fine tune it?
So the combination of that, part of that is some design cost, and the remaining will all be construction.
Okay.
So, Jerry, you still optimistic about that little Cove Point curve?
I am. We're looking to go into the right-of-way acquisition phase now, so we have probably about 75% design plans.
You really think you can do that for 2.5, the whole shooting match?
We should already have some funding in there, and we're looking
I
at a
mean,
couple options.
I'm seeing 1 and then $500,000. I mean, that seems like it's $1 million to buy a paperclip these days. I mean, and that's a lot of earth moving, right?
I want to sell you some paper clips.
I know, right?
I got on sale today for $500,000.
Right.
So, I mean, we're optimistic we can probably get it done for 2.
I mean, that would be a home run for those folks back there. I mean, I just,
Because it's, what is it, 300 yards, the length of the project?
Yeah, it's about that.
Yeah.
but it's that curve is
I
the
mean,
problem.
Yeah, but most of, the heavier construction will be when we straighten out, push it towards Park Chesapeake. That's be the.
So you're
most
gonna lean
difficult
more
section.
that way than the other way?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Do you can you get the property through there? I mean, I don't,
We don't know yet. We're starting our acquisition
because
process
isn't
now.
that part of that, their HOA? Isn't that a big part of that, or is that all
No,
private?
It's all private lots.
Is it? Okay, I wasn't sure.
Now, whether we get it or not, it might change the whole scope of the project.
Right.
but, yeah.
So while we got you, JR, how about Traskers Boulevard? Is that going to be widening, or is that going to be a circle?
So we have plans for a circle there. Most of the roundabout is already funded. We're kind of stuck with some wall design to try not to have to purchase some right-of-way on one of the corners. Because it takes out a lot of right-of-way. And I think there's a Verizon pedestal there and a lot of infrastructure. We're trying to avoid that. So right now, we're looking at our wall design.
Okay.
What is your,
Cox, which location did you ask
Traskers.
So this is Traskers Boulevard,
Oh, okay.
right there beside Panda Express.
Okay, okay.
I know your Walton Road project doesn't start till 26, but what's that one for, the bridge?
I believe there's 2 culverts there that are failing, and we're looking to replace them with a box culvert. And that's pretty much most of the Stephen Reed, the Walton Road, and the Warren Drive.
Okay.
All 3 of those are older older culverts that are, we're looking to replace with box culverts.
That's the same figures, I guess, huh?
Yep.
Going back to Breezy Point roundabout. just
Yes.
Make sure you do something temporary for this year so the camper can make those turns, whether it's filling those corners or
Okay.
whatever. Because I think we're gonna need it.
Okay, Stafford Road and St. Leonard Road widening, prior funding, that was used for design, I'm assuming?
Yeah, we were looking at modifying the Stafford Road intersection to handle the traffic that's there. But since recent land acquisitions, we're looking at relocating probably one of the highest traffic generators off
Yeah,
of there.
that happened 3 or 4 years ago when we were looking at changing that intersection. When the state said they wouldn't, we did look
Correct.
at
That was
what
back
we
in-
could do to help improve it.
2019, going into the beginning of
Yeah,
2020.
yeah.
Okay. The only other question I had was down at the bottom, Maryland NPDES MS4.
So that's our state mandated MS4 permit. So it's pretty
Okay.
much how we manage all our stormwater in the lower end of the county where we're in the permitted area.
How close are you on meeting that requirement now? I know you've been working on it for years.
So each year we've met our goals.
Okay.
We're on it was a 5-year permit, and we're in the stage of renewing it now.
Oh, so it keeps going? Really? God.
I don't know what the new requirements
That's
will
another
be.
one of those unfunded mandates?
It's like cleaning up the bay.
Right.
Yeah,
You make progress, but you're never gonna be done.
so I'm
Correct.
going.
So the money for the MS4 permit, basically what we end up doing is we're required to treat 20% of the untreated impervious area within the permitted area, which is pretty much the lower half of the county, like the Ranch Club area, Drum Point, and south. With that, we go in, we get certain credit of impervious being treated depending on the device we use. A lot of stuff we do is we do storm drain repairs, outfall repairs, and that counts towards a certain amount of impervious covered. We also do street sweeping. Sweeping streets also gives us some credit. We do that a couple of times a year. Stream restoration, which we have not had a project, but that could be used for that if need be, and that gives us credit also. We can do these devices or anywhere throughout the county, not just the permitted area to count towards our goals.
Thank you.
How about the signal matching funds for state highway? I heard that's gonna be a lot more money than, you have 60,000 in here.
Yeah, so pretty much the county pays the state to maintain our signals, even if they're on county roads, such as, I think we have like 6 of them we maintain, one on
Okay,
like.
so that's not the Route 4 then?
No.
Okay,
No,
I got you.
no. That's just for maintenance and repairs that need
Yes,
be for the
okay,
signals.
got you.
Anything else?
I think we're good.
This slide is an overview of the FY25 expenditure and revenue summary. Our total is $113,339,568. Again, it is for FY25 only. We're looking at a pay-go of $14.8 million, debt $56 million, state funding and grants $18 million, and excise tax $2.5 million. That's for the general fund. For enterprise funds, you have user fees of $283,000, debt bond $14 million, grants other $7 million, utility fees and capital connection fees $400,000. Commissioners, this concludes our CIP presentation to all of you. Thank you all so much for all of your time and patience with us.
So, Director Cosgrove, I want to thank you. We didn't get one single, I have to get back to you, or I don't know, to all the questions.
You're welcome.
We do appreciate that.
you.
And Ms. Atkinson, I believe is today your last day before us?
Before you, yes, sir.
So I just want to take this opportunity publicly to thank you for your service, and we're going to miss you. But today, Ms. Atkinson will be our last presentation before us because she's leaving county service.
Yes, sir. But
So-
thank you.
I
Thank
bet
you
you'll
all
never
for
look
your
at air
support.
conditioning ever the same again, will you?
Never.
Every
I
time
will
she goes to the
always think of
thermostat.
you, Commissioner Hart.
I know when next time you buy a car, you're gonna go, you really gonna charge me how much for that AC in there?
Definitely.
Now she won't be asking her husband all those questions when
Yep.
he comes home.
Yep, that's exactly what happens. Like, I know the questions that are going to be asked. Can you have me prepped and ready to go? And he would, so I could handle Commissioner Hart's questions. But thank you all very much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate
Thank
all
you.
your
Thank you.
support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good
Y'all
luck.
have a good day.
You too.
That brings us to our next item under new business, the Waterman's Wharf Oversight Committee Annual Report. Mr. Jones and guest.
Looks like guest has presents.
Come on, Mr. Doc Master, come on up. You ain't getting off the hook. We have questions for you. If we don't, I'm gonna make some up.
I'll make up the answer.
I know you will. I can tell. I can tell.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Tom Jones, Deputy Director for DPW of General Services. Today I will be here as the Chair for the Waterman's Wharf Oversight Committee. Today we will be presenting the annual report for the Waterman's Wharf Oversight Committee. I will allow the guests to my right to introduce themselves, and we will proceed.
Hi, I'm Stacy Hutchinson. I'm the Associate Director of Administration and Facilities at the Chesapeake Biological Lab.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Dan Baker, Safety Officer / Dock Master.
So we have a safe dock, right?
That's correct.
Safest one there is.
I'll read the memo, and then I'll discuss some of the things that that we've done over at the Waterman's Wharf. The Waterman's Wharf Oversight Committee was formally created by Resolution Number 25-11 by the Board of Calvert County Commissioners on August 9, 2011. The purpose of the committee was to provide an oversight of the wharf leased by the county for the use of watermen engaged in commercial fisheries. Future goals, the Waterman's Wharf Oversight Committee will continue to ensure that all slips are filled and the wharf will continue to operate as a working waterman's wharf. Going to some of the things that have been completed over the last year. Renewal of a 10-year lease with the University of Maryland Central for Environmental Science, which was very important. Through the Oversight Committee, the Waterman's Wharf has become more of a working waterfront pier. Currently, all slips are rented with 5 watermen on the waiting list. The rental slip fees are $1,000 per slip right now, per year. Approved new bylaws for the Waterman's Wharf Oversight Committee functions. A dock master position, which Danny has introduced himself, was added to handle the day-to-day operations of the wharf. This position will also review all applicants submitted each year for slips to ensure information of vessels, ownership, and insurance certifications are up to date. We did a fully renovation of the shed that was on site, as it was very much needed.
Tom,
for the
can I
water-
interrupt you for a minute?
Yes, ma'am.
Who paid for that renovation? How does that get done?
That was paid for every year when we have a line item set aside, a budget line
Okay.
item for repairs down there.
Okay.
We use that remaining balance of that to pay for that.
Okay, so it's county funded?
County funds, yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. The 22-23 season landed 22,400 bushels of oysters, which I thought was a lot. $1 of each bushel goes back to seeding the Calvert County Public Oyster Program. The Calvert County Watermen's Association held their 23 Watermen's Festival and Boat Knocking Contest with about 6,000 in attendance.
Can I interrupt you again?
ma'am.
Where does that money go, the money that's raised for all of that? I know we provide the bleachers and stuff like that.
Bleachers and
Yes,
porta potties, yes, ma'am. That funding
Okay.
goes back to the Watermen's Association.
it does,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. And what do they tend to use that money for?
That I can't answer.
Okay,
I'm not
fine.
sure. I
Thank
was
you.
actually hoping to have the Watermen's Wharf president here today, but didn't
Okay.
work out.
He's
Thank
out
you.
working on the water.
Yep,
Yes,
there
sir.
you go.
We provided port for the Sultana, and I probably butchered that, so I'm sorry. The educational vessel that was visiting Solomon's Island. The Sultana is a research vessel that is tied to the Washington College in Chestertown, Maryland. It's an all-women's crew, and they paid for $100 for the 3-day tie-up that actually goes to the museum. $22,400, which is $1 for each bushel, went to the Calvert County Watermen's Association for the purchase of seed on shell or spat for the 23-24 season if available.
Who pays for that? Does the county provide those funds?
No, ma'am. What happens is that when oystermen come to the dock and they sell their bushels to whoever's purchasing, they actually present $1 to that fund.
Okay.
And at the end of the year, since it's $1 a basket every year, then they take the money that was $22,400 at this point, and it varies each year depending on the bushels, will go to the Watermen's Association. They purchase oyster seed and then go out, and whether they, not sure how they do it, but they deem which tributary they'll put it in, and they'll go up there to get to the river or up the bay and plant the seed, so to speak.
Thank you.
Yes,
And Tom, when will we know that money has been spent?
I let them know.
that guy over there said it's spent.
So it has been spent for this year?
This year, as a matter of fact, they just did it not too long ago. They have state money that they use also for seeding the bars. We still have the $22,400 still in the account. The Watermen's Association has that. And as soon as the seed is available, they'll be purchasing that. Usually it comes up in the spring, in March or April. They'll be purchasing the seed, and all that will go in Calvert County public bars. They've already got the bars assigned on where it's going. We're just waiting for the seed to come available.
Okay, thank you.
I know in the past, the president of the Watermen's Association actually calls me in the morning and he lets me know, hey, the seeding money that's been presented by the wharf is actually, I'm, distributing the seeds today. So he hasn't called me yet. Hundreds of bushels of crabs, clams, and pounds of fish are landed at the wharf annually. Over 25 local watermen sell oysters at the wharf, and a lot of local watermen use the wharf for transporting gear out of the fishing grounds or out to the fishing grounds. So it's just not the slip holders that use that. You have other individuals that come in and use it for drop off or pickups. There's enough space down there, so I think it's very useful for all the fishermen that are down there, just not the slip holders themselves. That's the end of my presentation, so I will turn it over to Stacy, and she can talk to us.
Thank you for including me this morning. I just thought I'd give you a quick update on CBL and what we have going on there. Obviously, one of our most treasured partnerships and one of our proudest is with the Watermen, and what we can do that with the county and provide space for the Watermen. We have a great relationship with them. And a lot of times when they're seeing things out on the water that don't coincide with what our science might be telling us, we have that wonderful relationship with them that we can have those conversations. CBL was founded in 1925, so we're embarking on our 100th anniversary. It was the very first state-funded research laboratory founded by Dr. Truitt, which one of our newest buildings is named after. We advise the state and national agencies on sustainable fisheries management and breaking new ground in understanding how chemicals move between the atmosphere, sediments, water. We also work on nutrient dynamics in the food web. We like to refer to ourselves as researchers that cover the Arctic to the tropics, because we have researchers in all of those areas. As a quick update to what's happening at CBL and give you a glimpse of what we have going on, one of our research professors at our laboratory has received an $11 million grant to research wind. So it's with the Baltimore-based U.S. Wind Incorporated. They are doing offshore wind development on marine mammals, fish, birds, to see how, obviously, wind farming is going to affect sea life. They're working off a leased area off the coast of Ocean City, Maryland. They're looking at commercial and recreational fisheries, passive acoustic monitoring, so checking the noises of the dolphins, the whales. We have a lot of students who are sitting with headphones on, listening for those sounds, seeing how when the turbines are on or off will make a difference for them, and real-time whale detection. It's one of our largest grants that we've ever received, so it's a good one for us. Many of our graduate students, so as you know, we have about 40 graduate students at all time, either pursuing master's or PhD degrees. They go on to prestigious careers, developing cutting-edge methods and processes. One of our recent graduates developed a new way to age fish using lasers. So we've aged fish forever, so they'd always use the otoliths in the ear of the fish because that grows kind of like how rings of a tree, which is a very
age 'em?
Yeah, that's how we age how old they are and how long what their life pattern has been, how much they've traveled. So this using lasers is a much easier, quicker method for aging fish and knowing the age of the population of the fish.
You know, it's been right here. I just let it go.
So anyway, back to this. It helps us monitor the effectiveness of sustainable fishing practices. One of our students, Ben, who I said, has developed this method, and it has extreme accuracy. So it helps for both the state to know if safe fishing practices are being adhered to. One of our faculty member, Dr. Karis Mitchellmore, who's also currently serving as our interim director, she's a chemist and a toxicologist. She works closely with a lot of NGOs. One of her current projects is working on the environmental risks of personal care product chemicals. So think about things like your face wash. You know, we all heard about the microbeads in that, and you know, fish eat it, then we eat it. She's looking at things right now that are harmful to marine life and full circle back to humans. But she's looking right now on sunscreens and the UV filters found in those products and how those products affect the understudied species like corals. So sunscreen does have an impact on the growth of corals. She also served as a lead scientist on the Deepwater Horizon oil incident, and she works very, a lot of her work is on dispersants and impacts on sea life.
You know, you've seen that, was it Louisiana, but it was a lady from the Coast Guard had been screaming and screaming forever about all the oil that's constantly dumping down there, and they felt it was like an acceptable level, this corporation did or whatever, and people have no clue, you know, when you talk about these agencies for oversight, why you have to have it. I'm sure you know all about it. When you said that, you know, people don't think.
There are people that are looking at it and making sure
and
that, and calling people.
Something in the Coast Guard, and
calling it out.
She wouldn't let go of it.
Good for her. Some of our community programs and involvement with the community, we've had our long time no see, as in it's been a long time since we've seen you, Dolphin Watch program. I actually brought you some bags that have our flow code on the front that you can scan if you don't already have our Dolphin Watch app on your smartphones and if you live on the water or near it. We want to know when you see dolphins. We are tracking the behaviors and life cycles of dolphins. One of our researchers, that is her main focus of study. So if you don't already have Dolphin Watch, please do that.
Well, there's more of them now than I've ever seen. I mean, Commissioner Allen, you're out there all the time. Isn't this something kind of, is this new?
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
I see them from my office window.
Is that mean sharks?
I don't know about that.
Next will be alligators.
Who knows?
Well, I never thought I'd live to see the day when the river would be full of dolphins.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're up above Benedict.
Yes, they are.
We could just get them to eat the blue catfish.
Yes, if we could just do that. That's right, exactly.
They're eating the wrong
A
fish.
problem.
Correct.
They are eating the wrong ones.
Can't y'all train these dolphins to eat?
I'll take that back and see if anybody takes the bait on that.
We got an $11 million grant. Can't we sneak some
Right.
dolphin study in there? I mean, they
Make
blow
them hungry for the
wind.
catfish, that's right. One other thing we have going on is we have a new building going up soon, so we should be breaking ground in June.
Where are you going to put it?
There's a spot.
Really?
It ain't a very big spot.
There is a big enough spot for it. So it's right beside our Cronin Research Building. It faces the water right on Farron Avenue, and then the Parish House. There's a lot that goes from Farron to Williams Street. Long-
Y'all are gonna sink that
long,
out.
narrow lot, yeah. Yeah, I know. We're planning for that.
Really?
So our newest building, it's a two-story, 13,000 gross square foot building. We are designing it with the intent of a net zero energy building. So we will be making whatever energy and offsetting so that we're creating no carbon footprint from the building. Like I said, we're going to begin construction this summer on this building. This building is intended to provide students and faculty with a space that enhances and encourages collaboration and interactive technology throughout. It's going to have a tremendous scientific data storage that will be available at both our researchers and students' fingertips, and so they can collaborate with researchers all over the world real time from this building. So we're looking very much forward to this building coming online. It's been a long time coming. It's been on the state books for over 20 years. So donors for CBL, we do have wonderful donors. We recently received $1 million gift from one of our donors, Brian Hockheimer and Marjorie Wax. You might have seen it in the newspaper. They have funded a anthropogenic changes in estuarine systems. We call it the ACES initiative. It's a 5-year project to study chemicals in waterways that could be having harmful impacts on environmental and human health. The funds primarily went to buying the instrumentation that's required to run these samples, but it's also providing salary for a postdoctoral student as well as a faculty research assistant. So we'll be it's allowing for 2 hires to work in this lab. It also will look at from the Patuxent River on evaluating the impacts of wastewater facilities discharging into the river, as well as the impacts on numerous indirect sources of wastewater from things like septic tanks. So if any of you have attended any of our Science for Community sessions, we did one on septic detectives, showing the amount of leaching septic tanks in Calvert County is
horrible.
It's
horrible.
horrible. Yeah, I wasn't going to use that word,
Look at Mill Creek.
but we can go with it. Horrible.
Look at Mill Creek. I mean, it's horrible. I mean,
Yeah. So this will be this piece of equipment can run very precise analysis on exactly what's getting into the waterways. If you haven't looked at our website lately, I encourage you to take a look and see, because there's so many things I could tell you about CBL. This was just a little snip. And
So do your researchers work with NRP on striped bass, research that they've come up with
So-
young a year, with populations, period? I mean,
we have done research on striped bass. Our former director, Dr. Thomas Miller, does a lot of striped bass research, as does Dr. David Secor. I don't know that they have any active projects right now going on, but I don't want to be the person that said, but I could get back to you on that. I don't know that they have any active
so do you know if they
projects
do young of the year research with NRP or no?
Yes, we have in the past. I don't know that we have any active projects.
Okay, because I was looking, it seems like those locations have been the same for like 50 years, and we all know that the fish have moved in different locations. We have dolphins now, we have a lot of different creatures in the bay, and the
Yes.
river.
Yes, we
The
do.
blue cats, weren't where they are.
Right.
By no means. I was just wondering if there was any up-to-date research that CBL has that maybe they could provide to the state.
So we do, we work very closely with the state. Most of our funding comes from the state. So we are grant funded primarily, some state funding, but mostly grants through the state. I would have to check to see if there's anything going on with striped bass.
Because there's been a lot of changes in the regulations, I don't know if you follow them or not, where they've dropped it to 1 fish, cut the season short, when quotas haven't been met in the past 8 to 10 years. In the charter industry, they're still, cutting quotas, and we're just trying to, those are small businesses, that's the way we look at it. Not only are they a small business, but they also affect the hotel community, gas community, the liquor stores, the food stores, restaurants, I mean.
Everyone,
It just
yes.
goes on and on and on.
Yep, yep.
But I'm a little bothered because I believe that research that they're using is, same spots. Fish don't have a calendar, I say it all the time. And with climate change, I mean, we see, you know, temperatures changing from the time I was a kid to now, in the middle of winter. We don't have winters like we used to have.
No.
But everything changes is what I'm getting at.
Right.
And I think that that research has been done the same way for so many years that it needs to be looked at. I just didn't know if,
That's definitely something I'll take back and let somebody who talks science, fill you in on what we have going on with the state right now with that.
if you think about it, send me a contact. I'd be very interested in
Okay,
talking to somebody.
absolutely,
All right.
yes.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Mr. Baker,
Yes, sir.
how's the dock?
Dock is very good.
Maintenance issues?
Mr. Jones takes care of any issue that comes up. We had a problem with the shed, we took care of that. We had a problem with a couple poles, we got those replaced. We did get a price on some new pole work that was very expensive. We have another contractor that came in and gave us a better price, so we'll be working with that. We never did get a price on the seawall. They kept putting it off for like 6 months. So we will be getting a price on what it would cost to replace the seawall. But it's in good shape now, so we should be fine.
And we're full, we have a waiting list.
We have 18 slips. We have 15 of them that are full on a regular basis, working watermen. We have 2 transient. We just got the transient lease agreement done in December, and everybody was in Virginia dredging oysters. But we do have 2 transients that are filling in a couple of the empty slips. So
And we
everything-
changed the rental lease, whatever you want to call it. How's that working out?
That's working out good. Everybody knows the rules, they know the bylaws, they know the lease agreement we have with the lab, and also the lease agreement that we have with them, the slip owners. We've had a couple where I had to cut and paste and send it to them on the phone so they could read it themselves. But everything's working out.
And during oyster season, you have one buyer or 2?
We have one buyer right now, Tommy's in. He's still the one buyer there. We do have about 25 watermen that come there and sell to him. A lot of them are from St. Mary's County, Calvert County, up the bay, that'll truck them in on pickup trucks. But it's creating good money for reseeding Calvert County public bars. So that's a big help.
There's nobody there buying other fish or crabs?
No.
Just oysters?
No, most everybody else, they just load on their trucks and take them to their distributors, wherever they're taking them to. But it's, everything's the way it should be. It's a working waterfront. We have people coming in there every day, going to work, coming back, you know, Calvert County residents and their crews. So it's, and during, I was talking about it the other day, during crabbing season, when we go from oystering at the end of March to April, when we get into crab season, one Sunday night last year, we had somebody complain that there's no room in the parking lot on a Sunday. So I drove down there 11 o'clock at night, and there's 9 trailers and 4 trucks, about probably 400 crab pots in the parking lot. And by 10 o'clock Monday morning, they were all gone. So a lot of watermen bring their stuff down to load their boats up first thing in the morning to set their string of crab pots out in the bay. And their strings are 100 to 300 to 900 pots. So it's amazing how much stuff they can move in a 24-hour period. So even though that you don't hear anything from them, the Calvert County watermen love the Waterman's Wharf because it makes it easy access for them to bring their trailers down. You know, with 100 crab pots on it, they can put them right on their boat. They're going out and setting. I mean, it works out great for everybody. And it's definitely needed. One thing that we talked about in the exec session in July and back in June was having a flyer down there, and that's the final thing I'm working on now, is having a flyer so if somebody pulls up there, they can open up the plastic box like a realtor and pull the flyer out. And it talks about Calvert County government providing this for the watermen. It also talks about the biological lab and when they started, and their part in it as well. So everybody, anybody that comes into the county that's never seen it, or somebody that's lived there their whole life, they can pull that up and see exactly, that we're still keeping that alive, that historic tradition.
Is there history included in that?
Yes, sir.
Good.
It's got from the Isaac Solomon's oyster factory that was there in 1868. Is right on the grounds where the Waterman's Wharf is. So, it's still carrying on that history.
Good.
Right there, right on the front.
And all those slip fees, that money stays and gets back into the wharf.
That's correct.
None of that money goes into the general
That goes
fund.
right to the county.
Well, that money stays in that fund.
Yep.
So,
The wharf is in Solomon's.
Yes, ma'am.
I've not,
On William Street, as soon as you pass the house with the ducks that they dress up by the pond on the left past Tiki Bar, as soon as you pass that, there's a real big magnolia tree.
okay,
There's a paved street right there, William Street. It's not marked.
okay,
But William Street goes
on your
right
left.
down to the Waterman's Wharf.
okay,
It's where the boat docking is.
okay.
Yeah, that's the
I'll
wharf.
make a visit.
If you take the bleachers out of there, it's all vehicles and oyster trucks and everything else.
Okay.
and the public can walk down there.
Yeah.
Are there public
access.
sales off the boat?
Yeah. Oh, no. No, there is no retail sales there. It's
Right.
only wholesale.
Right. But people that are walking around the island can go down there and actually see the boats, and if somebody's there, they can
Yeah,
talk to them.
Sultana comes there, people come down to visit that. We also have the Pride and a couple other ones in May that'll also be there as well. A lot of the flagships that come in, the smaller ones. You'll see them tie up on the end of the T pier at the Waterman's Wharf. So you'll see a lot of public coming down to see those. And I think some of them do bus tours that they do with the Marine Museum, so they'll bring a bus of kids down there and go out on them.
And the wharf is actually owned by the lab. We just have an MOU. We manage it for them, basically. And that's the condition of the MOU, is that it's there for commercial working watermen.
Yeah.
To have a spot.
And we have tight rules, and that's my job, be the police.
And it's an excellent location, because in the wintertime, it hardly ever freezes because of the way the water flows in that
Yeah.
creek. And so it stays open. It'll be the last to freeze, so. they
If you're
all-
ever interested in a tour of the lab or see what we do there, and you can visit the Waterman's Wharf at the same time, let me know.
Nice.
Be happy to give you a behind-the-scenes visit.
It'll take a long time going through all those buildings. 'cause
I won't take you to all of them. You can just hit the hot spots.
It's a wonderful resource and an asset that we have the lab right there in Solomon's to, do research on the river and the bay. And we have a collaboration. We have some grants that we provide for water
Yes, you
monitoring.
do.
And I think, doesn't the lab come in once a year and give us an update on
Yep,
programs? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Yes, we handle the Bay report card.
yeah.
Well, Danny, I remember last year, my first year, and there was so much going on down there. Thank you for bringing it up to snuff and tightening everything up.
Yes, ma'am.
Appreciate it.
I'm glad you came down and enjoyed the festival.
Oh, I love it. I think it's amazing, and I love watching the kids do it. Oh, my gosh.
Everybody loves it, and I'm glad that there's a heritage here that the county commissioners also support, that we can keep that going.
Yeah. Great.
Well, thank you all for coming in and appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
For all you do.
Thank you.
You two never see each other, right? So I'm glad we can provide this opportunity.
We saw each other for a whole week. It was pretty good.
Well, what stays on the ship, what happens on the ship stays on the ship, so we're good. We're good.
Let me tell you about the pigs one day.
I'm gonna call you. I believe that brings us to public comment.
Thank you,
County
sir. There is
Attorney.
no one online. We do have a representative of Senator Jackson's office that's here, if you'd like.
Yeah, we weren't gonna let you off the hook today. Come on up.
It's fine by me. Sorry, I pull up my phone, my script's on my phone.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Just introduce yourself.
Yeah, gotcha. My name is Justin Thompson. I am the Calvert constituent representative for Senator Michael Jackson. And today, I wanted to extend my offer to both the commissioners and the viewing public to the District 27 Constituent Night, which is going to be on March 21st from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Governor Calvert's house, which is 58 State Circle, Annapolis, Maryland. This is going to be a free meet and greet sort of event with all of District 27's elected officials, being State Senator Michael Jackson, Delegate Mark Fisher, Delegate Kevin Harris, and Delegate Jeffrey Long. We ask that everyone RSVPs to our office by March 15th, either at 410-841-3700 or michael.jackson@senate.state.md.us. Thank you for hearing me out. I hope everyone can attend.
Thank you.
Thank you. So that concludes public comment. That brings us to Commissioner reports. Commissioner Cox.
Thank you, Mr. President. I had the pleasure with Commissioner Hart on Wednesday night and staff to attend the awards banquet for the Sheriff's Office. We were in good hands with the Sheriff's Department, and we thank them for all they do. On Saturday, also attended the Farm to Table breakfast, which was well attended. Went very well. And Saturday afternoon, went to North Beach Firehouse for their fundraiser, and also well attended. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Ireland.
On Thursday the 29th, we had to divide and conquer. At the same time as the Sheriff's Office Awards, we went to the Southern Maryland reception in Annapolis. Made a lot of contacts there. Attendance was down a little bit, but it was good to see a lot of people. And again, I was able to talk to a lot of people and actually learn quite a bit coming out of there. March 2nd, as Commissioner Cox said, was a historical society breakfast. I was in the back in the kitchen with the Freeland family and the Wells families. We prepared all your food. I hope you enjoyed it.
That's very good.
I think I started cooking bacon at about 5:15 and finished at 9:45.
That was a late day for you.
It was
I saw Shirley. I saw.
it was a family affair. Thank you.
The other truth comes out.
Also got a text message this morning, asked to pass along that the CCAC nominations are due this Friday, March 8th. The form's available online at Calvert County Public School website. They're close to 100 nominations for the year. So if you want to put somebody in for the CCAC Awards, I went to it last year. It was very well put together. It was very punctual. It started at 7, I think, and ended at 8. But it was great to hear the stories of the people that put in the nominations for the awardees. It was very moving.
Excellent. Commissioner Hart.
Thank you, Mr. President. As Commissioner Cox said, we were at the awards ceremony for the Sheriff's Office. You know, the really cool thing there, and Commissioner Cox is right, we are in good hands, was to see Bob Harvey, our state's attorney, there, and the sheriff and the leadership from the detention center. And you can see you got a team. You know, it's not, where one side doesn't talk or the other. And what was really cool is we've got a lot of young officers. It was really good to see, you see people are having a hard time getting people to, into jobs and careers, and a lot of young folks represented there. I thought that was really neat. It's a lot of responsibility, a lot of pressure on a young person, but I believe the sheriff's got a really good team, and no, it was really, felt good walking out of there. It's nice to see, like I say, everybody just working together, and we all want the same thing. It's a safe community.
Thank you. Commissioner Grasso.
Okay, I also attended the Southern Maryland Tri-County reception, and it was very nice. And like Commissioner Ireland said, attendance wasn't what it used to be, but it was a very fruitful evening. I'm saying a big thank you, Jesus. I attended my next to the last MACO meetings last week, and I only have one more in person towards the end of March. Encourage everyone to come out to Lusby and Dunkirk for the ribbon cutting for the new Lusby is D3 station and Dunkirk is D1 station, or is it the opposite? It's the opposite, okay. I'd also like to congratulate Northern's Drew Montgomery and Emily Bowling. They took home their respective 2024 MPSSAA Wrestling State Championships. Emily is also a volunteer at North Beach Volunteer Fire Department, and Emma Hardiman of Northern came in second place and got her trophy as well. So congratulations to the wrestlers.
Very good. So last week after our meeting, I attended Disney World.
We had a lot of meetings.
I
almost feel I have
Is
to
Mickey
say I'm
still
sorry.
there?
the kids had a great time. I lost weight in my wallet.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But, that place is pretty amazing. You have to give them credit. So I looked up facts while we were there because you're just fascinated by the number of people and how they handle things. Over 77,000 employees work at Disney World in Florida.
Isn't that something?
And I don't know what it's 40,000 acres, I think, encompassed in that place. And on a daily average, it's 100,000 visitors just to the 3 theme parks, not all the other amenities that they have included. And it's just crazy. And be happy you live on Route 4 in Calvert County and not on Interstate Route 4 in Orlando, because it's a parking lot. So you quickly have to learn how to get off of Route 4 and take all the back roads to get to where you want to go, or you never get there. But we had good weather. The kids had a great time, and it is expensive. Once you walk in the gate, I think it's $170, and then if you do the fast pack thing, it's another whatever. But at Universal, it's $170 to get in the gate, and the fast pass at Universal is $130. At Disney World, it's only like $50, but it's limited on how you can use it. But at Universal, the fast pass was $130.
Like I was telling you, when we were there, it was 160 a piece to get in and 40 for the fast, because I remember it was $800
Forget that.
for the 4 of us.
So last night, we got home yesterday. Last night, my wife is adding up all the bills, and I said, don't add what you don't want to know.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, I just don't look.
Well, you need to know how many bushels of corn it cost you.
At the price of corn, it took a lot more than it would have taken last year. But, it's one of those things you do every once in a while, because it is a very interesting enterprise to see. Just, as you get older, you watch more the functionality than you do the entertainment value of it. But it's crazy, and they do that.
Machine.
They do that every day. You're there for a day or two, and you go back home. But they do that every single day.
And all of them smiling, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, they better, or they don't have a job. I did see one guy. He was not smiling.
Really?
Yeah,
And it's
because I was
clean,
asking
too.
directions, but he was one of the cleaning guys. But
But you notice how clean it is with all those people.
Absolutely.
It's so clean.
so I had to look up. In 2021, Disney World in Florida reported $7.7 billion in profit.
Wow.
That was their profit, not the gross. But for what they charge, I can see that. And where they get you, I figured out where they get you, the food wasn't. Somebody will shoot me. The food wasn't horrible. The sodas. A 16-ounce Coke is $5. And you can get a hamburger for $10, which now if you go to McDonald's, a hamburger's almost $10.
But did you notice?
But a 16-ounce drink is $5. That's where they get you. Because I know what it costs to
Did you
make
notice,
soda.
let's say there's a ride called the Berserker or whatever.
Missed that one.
Or whatever it is, you magically get off at the souvenir shop
course.
to that
Of
that has
course.
the shirts that collate with that and the
Yeah.
picture. And they know how to run a business.
They're financial wizards.
Oh yeah, Mickey knows how to get that money.
That fast pass guy, he's sitting on the beach somewhere drinking margaritas.
No, he probably
All
was
day
the guy
long.
invented it. Probably didn't have a copyright to
Right.
it. Nothing.
I think you needed deprogramming or something to get over this emotional impact.
When we left, you take a picture when you're leaving. We waited to take our picture, and there was a couple my age taking a picture. They had a placard they hold up. That was their 350th visit to the Magic Kingdom.
Wow.
They've been there 350 times.
I've been there 3 times.
So we talked about, just time doing that and the cost. to go there and they had a grandchild with them, but 350th visit to Disney World, so they must live there, but
My sister
Anyway.
was like that. Oh.
we had good weather, it was a great time, and you lose weight in your wallet, and, you know, have lots of great memories, so, something you gotta do, but,
Can't
I
take it
wouldn't
with
live
you.
in Orlando, oh my God,
Traffic's
that
gotten
place
worse.
is horrible. Horrible, so, thank God for Calvert County, and we're gonna do our best to make sure that Route 4 in Calvert County doesn't turn into Route 4 in Orlando. That's my promise to all of you out there. We are not gonna do that, so. I'm done my rant, and the young man has given our commercial for constituent night. Catherine gave it another commercial for the ribbon cuttings this afternoon. So all I need now is a motion to go into executive session.
Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me
You
get
must have
this.
been on vacation. You forgot your job.
I know. It was a good week last week.
I know, I missed out on a lot of good things. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Breakfast.
Okay, I move to recess to executive session pursuant to general provisions, Article Sections 3-305B, 1II, to discuss a personnel matter that affects one or more specific individuals. 3, to consider the acquisition of real property for a public purpose and matters directly related thereto. And 8, to consult with staff, consultants, or other individuals about pending or potential litigation.
Second.
Motion and a second that we go into executive session. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Everyone have a great day.